Bowser Cloth Technology. Here's our design brief. So the target consumer was anyone who needs help lifting something off the ground, like up to a higher place. And then the problem was lifting a 1 kilogram object 12 inches off the ground with an ammo of at least 3. And then the criteria was 2 weeks. The FE had to be from a single person, and then it must lift the weight at least 12 inches. Yeah.
For the design statement, a compound machine that will lift a 1 kilogram object 12 inches off the ground with a minimal ammo of 3.
Here are different prototypes. So the one on the left was our first one, and that one didn't really work because the gears like separated from each other, so it didn't like pull. And then that was the same thing with the second one. We just tried it like making them closer, and then different gear sizes, and that didn't really work either. And then the third one, we used sprockets with the chain around it, and then that worked the best. Here's our video. Here are equations. So for the pulley, there were 2 strings going up for the movable. So the aim is 2. The gear ratio was 30:6 for both of them. So it'd be 25, and then the IMO was 50. And then the force it took to pull the weight from the string was 3.63 newtons. So we got 7.3% efficiency.
So your ammo is 3.63?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then your ammo over your IMA.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And then that's it.
That was it, huh? No backstory, huh?
Or do we need a backstory?
Like some crazy backstory for your engineering?
Oh.
That's all right. It's too late now. Next
Okay.
project, you know. All right, let's see this thing in action here.
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty close.
Just pulling out string. So you got a compound sprocket system,
Yep, right here. And then
which counts as 2, so that's a wheel and axle and
we have
gear
a movable pulley.
and a movable
down
pulley.
here.
All right. Okay. Good.
This is our company, Third Leg Productions.
Okay.
This is our design brief. Our problem is our customers are having problems lifting their third leg up the stairs, so we designed a way to make it easier. Our criteria and constraints are it has to be done under 2 weeks, has to have an IMA of 3 or more, and then it must be under $3 million. We had 3 prototypes. This is our one we went with, and then this is the one we ranked the highest. This is the one we used. So these are our equations. Our IMA's up here. Each like wheel and gear ratio are all done up on top. Then our IMA is down here. And our efficiency is to the right.
So you had an AMA of 3.1.
Yeah, and our IMA is 23.5.
So you barely made it because you had to have an AMA of just over 3.
Barely,
So
barely.
okay.
That's all. Oh yeah, we need a demonstration.
Okay. Got it. Good.
Elephant Contract Incorporated.
Yeah, so our machine is called the Elephant because it's got a trunk, and we're the Elephant Contractors. So, here's our design brief. Our target consumer is zoo workers that want to transport dead elephants out of the zoo. Because have you ever seen like a dead elephant? Like, how do they get it out of there?
That's sad.
You know? Like, you never see them. So, here's panel works.
So the machine will have a ramp with a gear at the top that will wind up a string connected to the elephant. It will pull the elephant up the slope into the cemetery.
Yep.
The what? The cemetery?
Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Elephant
then
graveyard.
It'll happen at midnight, yeah.
It's the Lion King,
people
Elephant
see that.
graveyard.
2-week time frame. Has to be 12, or it has to be lifted 12 inches, which is what the cemetery is. Less than 30 seconds and greater than 3. Yeah.
Here's some of the initial design sketches that we went through in order to decide what to do. Remember which one was which?
Yeah, this is like our final one, and this is the one we started with like a compound gear. And then this is kind of what led, we thought of the incline plane, kind of what led to the final design.
Here's the scissor matrix. Can't really see at the bottom, but the design 3 and design 4 were the most similar. But the main problem was going from design 3 was that the string kept coming off of the actual wheel it was on. So we changed it to a chain sprocket so it didn't slide off. And that fixed pretty much all the problems.
We didn't have music, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's much better theme music here.
Think of that, yeah. Alright, there you go. And so here's our calculations. I took a picture of it, but like here's them bigger if you need them, so. All the different calculations for the IMA of each individual wheel and axle sprocket and everything. And the total IMA is all those combined, which is 12.312. Total AMA was 3.6. That's 21% efficiency.
Oh, that's it.
Is it? No, there's one more. Oh, there's
No,
one
there you
more.
go.
Yeah. So here's annotated ones with all the measurements. They're kind of hard to see, but 2 inches and like, yeah. And then,
So that's a wheel and axle there.
yeah.
Okay,
And then
first
this
one.
is like the other part of the sprocket, and the wheel and axle. Incline plane. And one more, I think. There's the weight. That's it.
All right. Gonna show this one in action.
Yeah, we gotta connect it to the actual frame. Where's the ruler at?
It's right there. And right there.
No.
Can you hold it from the behind there so I can? There we go. And it never falls off there, huh?
It doesn't.
That's impressive.
That's
Oh, oh, oh.
bit of an issue with the string here.
That's when the elephant falls.
Are we doing our 30
Don't let that
seconds yet?
happen. And there we
One
go.
more place. There it is. Darren. Nice job. All right.
I have no idea.
Begin.
We are Gridiron Gears, and the machine we made is called the Peak Trainer.
And you guys are?
That's Jordan, and I'm Rob.
Okay.
Design brief here. So our client, our target company is NCAA. The target consumer is football programs to use for lifting up heavy things in their day-to-day football, days in the season. The machine obviously called the Peak Trainer, and the motive behind it is because Urbandale football, during away games, we have to lift heavy things like kettlebells and stuff and equipment, Pete's truck to get into the opposing team. So we thought something like this would help be able to lift that stuff without having to wear and tear on the players. It's obviously, like I said, an effort to lift heavy equipment, and some criterion constraints are must be lightweight, and since it's going out to other teams because it's NCAA, it's got to be that team's colors, and then it's got to be fit in a small U-Haul truck. It's obviously got to be bigger than that, but it cannot provide teams any other advantages besides just lifting the equipment. Here are the brainstorm sketches.
So let's see here.
That was the first one. That was the second one. This was
Okay.
wait, no.
Which one?
This is
Which one was it? Did you put the first one in the middle?
This is the one that we're using right now.
Okay.
This was the first one because that didn't like.
Okay, so the first one we were gonna do, but then we figured out that the inclined plane would pretty much be vertical and therefore useless. So we kind of just got rid of that and just made a pulley system to lift it up. And then our second one is, I don't know, that's our second one. So we kind of just got rid of everything except the pulley system. And then we didn't have enough simple machines. So we had to come up with our third idea and our final one, which is that one, the Peak Trainer, which is in the middle. And we have wheel and axle, we have a pulley, and we have sprocket and chain. And then it's the pulley is like a double pulley to get like double the, it's a movable pulley, there you go, to get double the advantage.
Oops. Here's the decision matrix from our designs. This was our last and final design. The criteria that I added was speed, efficiency, and looks. We figured out that it'd take the least amount of time with this one, just because the inclined plane is so sloped and it wouldn't really be that efficient. It wasn't super difficult to build at all. Cost, it was great. It was $1,700,000, so not super heavy. Speed is decent when you pull that. Efficiency, it's a little bit lower than these, but these kind of outweigh it, and then I feel like it looks pretty good. So here are the action clips. Here's a clip of it. You want to see that?
Got rid of the video with me in it?
So you pull the string, and then everything works in unison to pull up the movable pulley. And then here's it getting pulled on the foot in less than 30 seconds. Gotta use CapCut. Okay, so here's the sprocket and chain system. You want to explain that?
Sure. So we took get the IMA?
Yeah, ultimately.
Yeah.
Alright, so we took the sprocket chain, so here it's labeled, these are the two sprockets, this is the chain that connects it. The IMA/gear ratio, we took the input teeth over the output teeth, this had 13 teeth, this had 26, which means gear ratio/IMA 2. And then the AMA, which was the force, which was the mass of the weight over the effort force, which is the force it took to spin it, which gave us an AMA of 1.99, making the efficiency AMA over IMA, which was 99%.
So you look at that first line there, it says input teeth over output teeth, 13 over 26.
Don't put it backward. Oh, I put it backwards. So it'd be output.
Yeah, it's output over input, right?
My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still too low.
Yeah, it would be 2.
And then,
So your AMA was under 3, huh?
yeah, wait, for,
Yeah, 9.81 over your input force was 4.9. That's an AMA of 2. And it had to be over 3 was the requirement for the project.
Well, this is just for the sprocket chain.
Oh, it's just for the sprocket chain?
Yeah.
How does that work?
They have multiple definitions.
We did.
Yeah, it's all you had to have was IMA for each of the individual calculations, because there's no way you would know what your resistance force is at the end of the sprocket, right? We know that it's 9.81 newtons for the overall machine, right? So all you need for the AMA is 9.81 over whatever your input force is for the machine. Now you do have to figure out all the IMAs for all the different things,
Yeah.
right?
so all that testing we did, that was and that cost me so much stress. Alright. So, and then we have the wheel and axle, which is, what do we do? For the wheel and axle, oh, the pulley here?
It's the circumference of the wheel over
Yeah.
the circumference of the axle.
Yeah, so this is, we use this gear as our wheel, and then our axle, and then we got,
5.3.
yeah, 5.3.
Okay.
That's the AMA.
Yeah, the other things would be
Yeah.
irrelevant.
Then our movable pulley,
Pretty self-explanable.
yeah,
It's just 2 sporting strands, which is the IMO, and then other stuff. Relevant. And then this was kind of our total, which obviously it's not right, but total IMA, we took the sprocket chain, which was output teeth over the input teeth, and then the wheel and axle IMA, movable pulley, 2 sporting strands, multiply all those together, we got 21.2.
So that one would be right.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the total AMA, obviously it's incorrect because we used the effort force in the equation, so.
Well, you can use the effort force. So here your total AMA, your resistance force was 9.81 newtons, right? That's what it is for everybody.
Right.
Divided by how much force did it take to lift that thing with the whole machine? Did you ever do that? Did you
Yeah.
put it on there? And so how much force did it use to lift that 9.81 for your machine?
I'd have to look, I don't
Yeah.
remember off the top of my head. But we take that for all the.
You take 9.81 and you divide it by how much effort force it takes to lift the thing using your machine, right? So there had to be a place where you could easily attach it up and then
Yeah.
do the machine and
Yeah,
then
we
see how
just-
much effort
we
force
just
that
tied
took.
it to here.
Right, so you put it there and you pulled on it and it lifted up. So you don't know how much force that was that
I
did
don't
that?
remember off the
I
top
think
of
it's
my
in my
head.
notes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously we would have got a different AMA and overall efficiency, because this would have been a different number. But the IMA was correct, and then obviously to find your efficiency, you take AMA over IMA times 100, and then we got 36% efficiency. And that's it. You need to thanks for-
Yep, I'm gonna do a demonstration here. Okay. How much force did it feel like you were doing there?
I'm bad at doing that.
Because
so.
I don't know your AMA, and your AMA needed to be at least 3, so that's kind of important. All right.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. You can applaud. Go.
So my group, or my organization, is called the Duck Group, which is a sub-organization of Baker Group, which I don't know if any of you are familiar with it, but they're just out of town. They do everything that deals with building a building. So I figured it kind of fits with the theme. My contraption here, I call it the Giza, which we will find out later. Here is the wheel and axle, or sorry, the pulley. This is the pulley, and the wheel and axle is right here, as well as the gear, the sprocket chain. So all 3 of my simple machines, and this is how we know it's the Giza. Triangles, pyramids, pyramids of Giza. That's how I got the name. This was the design to find my, this is my eventual final decision. These 2 did not work because I didn't think this one would work, and this one only had 2 simple machines, so I chose the Giza. My design brief, client company, that is wrong, I think. No, is that right?
Your firm is the Duck Group, right?
Yeah. The
Client company is who's hiring you.
Okay, then I did that wrong. Then, well, target consumer, I guess mining companies, just, the scenario was we needed a way of lifting or pulling a lot of stuff from very deep, which that does. So the design statement, various gems and resources are put into some bucket that is lifted using a wheel and axle and sprocket and chain and whatnot. Design brief. They all have the same, coincidentally.
So how did you decide?
Well, of course, design 2 only had 2 simple machines, so couldn't do that one. And
You should have put another category on there, meeting parameters,
yeah, I should have.
so you could have a decision be made. Okay.
And I felt like the design I felt like design 3 would be a lot more attainable than design 1. So that's why I picked design 3.
So many things wrong with that slide.
Yeah. So the AMA, I believe I got it right. The IMA, I did not. To find the IMA, I found out how far I was moving the string and how far the weight got moved, which is that? I don't believe that's correct, right?
Actually, that would still work, but you were supposed to find the IM of each individual and multiply them together. But if you figured out, if you took, how far you moved the string, and then how far the weight lifted compared to that. Now the weight, we know how far it's supposed to lift. It's supposed to lift 12 inches. How much string did you move it?
Well, I found out that for every 5.5 inches that I pulled on the string, it only went up 1 inch.
Okay, right. So then 12 inches times 5.5. Well, 5.5 would be your gear ratio then. Yeah.
And
That'd
then
be your
my
IMA.
AMA was 2.8, which I found by using, 9.81 newtons. I used the, I forgot what it's called, the little
Force meter.
force meter, yeah.
So you didn't quite hit the 3.
Yeah, it bounced around a lot in the force meter between 3 and 4, so I just kind of put the 2 together.
Okay.
Efficiency, not very efficient. I think this was due to the 6 tooth teeth. I don't know the word.
Okay.
The sprocket with 6 teeth. It was not. There was a lot of issues. This is the video of me doing it. The little orange thing in the bottom is ruler. And then I will demonstrate Otto. Otto will hold it for me today.
Why?
Because I need you to hold it, just the base.
So since it's very loud, that probably cuts on your efficiency right there, because that's noise energy, right? That's so.
Yeah,
Okay. Is that it?
that's everything.
Okay.
Okay, so our machine is called the Lofty Love Seat Mover 1000, and we're Abby, Rachel, and Lily. So our client company is Solid Snooze Sofas, and they're also the consumer because they hired us specifically to make a machine for them. So Solid Snooze Sofas has designed like the world's densest couch, and they found out that this couch is amazing, the Lofty Love Seat, but that none of their equipment can move it like onto the trucks. They can move it to people's houses. So the CEO's brother works at Elevate Enterprises, which is the company we work for. So he hired his brother and like figured out like make me something to move this couch. But Solid Snooze Sofa's CEO is like very big, like go-getter, like rise and grind type man. So he didn't realize his own brother is very low in our company. So he asked the big guys, us, to help him out and design this couch mover. And then our machine utilizes wheel and axles and gear mechanisms to make it possible for the Lofty Love Seat to be moved.
That's quite a backstory.
We had three different designs. The first one is presented there and stuff. The other two had the same like general design of like the same simple machines and stuff. And they were just like flips kind of. One was the gears were more up, like horizontal, one was vertical and stuff. We didn't feel like it was necessary to show that really. Difficulty, whenever you build something, it's always going to be pretty difficult usually. Time, didn't take us too long to do that, so it was easier for that. Cost, it's really light. We didn't use that many parts, so cost was not really a problem.
So these are our brainstorming sketches. The biggest one is the one that we ended up going with, and then the two ones on the bottom were just like our other ideas. The problem with those ones is to get enough like compound simple machines in there, we needed to have in-kind planes, which wasn't really going to work out the best. So we decided to go with this one instead, just because, like it showed in the decision matrix, like it shook out to be the best option. Make sure it's on mute. Yeah, so this is just us moving it up one bit in another 30 seconds. Okay, so these are kind of like our annotated photos. This one over here is like kind of the first wheel and axle system over on the side over here. So that makes the wheel and axle system with this lower gear down here. And then the second picture kind of shows our pulley, which really didn't offer any mechanical advantage. It just kind of helped redirect it so that we could lift the weight. And then this spool has the string that gets wrapped around with the pulley, and it creates a wheel and axle actually with this second gear up here. And then there's a gear mechanism between the first and second gears. So these are our calculations for the IMAs and the gear ratios of all the different sections. So the first wheel and axle is this one down here, the gear ratio is this part, and then the second wheel axle is here, and then we have an overall IMA of 19. And then for our AMA with the force meter, we pulled down on the wheel and we got a measurement of 1.2. Which gave us an IMA of 8, or an AMA of 8.2. So then our efficiency ended up being, around 43%. And then
There it goes. Now what happens if you let go of it?
it's gonna fall.
Does it spin?
Yeah.
Spin the wheel real fast? Okay. You should let it go of it. See what happens. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. That's how you make a mousetrap car right there. Okay, nice job.
Drop it on someone.
So our machine is the kilometer, like an elevator for kilograms. Our company was the Gravity Engineers. I'm Jack, that's Casey. Yeah. So for our design brief, we were hired by Construction Design Plus. The target was just like all construction companies for like heavy lifting, and we wanted to create a machine that uses the 3 simple machines and lifts like heavy beams, large construction, like concrete structures up onto scaffolding. We were hired to create a machine that's efficient, requires little to no energy, and it helps them lift heavy objects into higher places such as scaffolding or higher up buildings. Our constraints, do you want to do the constraints?
It must be cost effective so that it can be mass produced for various companies. It must be easy to use so that everyone can easily use it no matter how smart they are. Our other constraint was that it has to be quick and easy to assemble so that workers can assemble it and immediately get started on their overall construction.
Right. And then our decision matrix. So with our first design, it was pretty hard to assemble because the inclined plane, well, we were going to incorporate an inclined plane, but then we realized that it really gave no mechanical advantage, and so we took that out. And then the second one, it wasn't really easier to build, but it also was took more time. It got a little bit heavier because we had to switch to a bigger base plate, but then in the end, our final design, we used the 2 smaller plates for the base plate, and then it was also easier to build because we took out that inclined plane. So yeah. Is there a way I can get out of this without?
You're just closing that tab, and you're just back into your...
And then our YouTube. All right. So that was our video of it, like working. So with our first design, wait. Okay, I messed these up, but this was our first design actually. The inclined plane here provided like no mechanical advantage, and we didn't really realize that. And after we designed all this and I actually built it, this wasn't even a foot. So we took all this down. We didn't actually build this one. It was just an idea. And then we landed on this one. At first this was just a regular pulley system with a one-strand movable pulley, but we found the bigger pulleys, so it had 6 strands total, and it was a lot easier to crank. And when we cranked it, it didn't like fly, like all unroll super quickly.
So added the height on the pulley
Yeah,
so
we
that it
did.
went up higher.
Yeah,
So
we
you can
didn't
actually
really
move it a foot.
we didn't really need to. I didn't know you could hang it off the table, but it is what it is. And then here's our final prototype build. And then our each simple machine. Here, this is the same gear system, the front and the back. You go from the crank to the smaller one, and then you get more torque. And then
It's the back.
yeah, it goes to this one, which there's no advantage here, but then it goes to here, which moves it faster, and then that goes the spool.
Which winds up the pulley.
Yep.
Pulls it
And then,
up.
yeah, the 3-strand pulley was a lot easier to crank than the regular one. That alone is 6 mechanical advantage right there.
For our calculations, to find IMA, we found the gear ratio and IMA of each mechanism. So we started with the crank and went to the gears, all the way to the pulleys. We multiplied that all together to find our total IMA, and then to find our AMA, we used the logger bro, I don't know what it's called.
We had, it was 0.425 for our FE, which really small and almost perfect machine.
We took FR over FE, and our FR was the weight of this times the acceleration, so 9.81. And then
So it came out about the same as your IMA, huh?
Yeah, so
Wow.
our overall efficiency ended up being 98%, which is pretty good.
So, yeah, and then, this is gonna take a minute, but Casey, do you wanna hold the ruler?
Should only take 30 seconds. What are we up to? Are you timing?
It's less than 30.
Ooh. All right. Yeah, what happens if you let yours go? Oh, look at that. Look at that. That could be a useful machine.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice job.